Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Owens, Tournament Director with the Georgia Bass Nation Kayak Series. This is the angler briefing for the 2023 State Championship. We've had an amazing season so far this year. The culmination of it all lands us back on Lake Seminole, where we started the season in February. We're hosted by Donaldsonville, Georgia, and we're headquarters out of Big Jim's Restaurant and Lounge here. The amenities here, the cabins we're all staying in, are primitive and exactly what you need as a fishing cabin. They've got comfortable beds. They're clean. They do your linen change every day, and then you're just a walk away from a very good breakfast in the morning. And then you've got Big Jim's, which is to be honest, a lot of the reason some people even come down to Lake Seminole, period, is just a frequent Big Jim. So, really grateful for them extending the courtesies that they have to us this week. A lot of you have been down here since Saturday, pre-fishing and scouting around. Myself, I got here on Tuesday. It's been rainy, but the fish are eating. They're biting. Seems like the bite's improving as the week goes on. So on championship weekend, Saturday, Sunday, everything should be good. So before I get into too many details, I do want to highlight safety first because that's the most important thing in any series that we're all a part of is making sure that you enjoy your time here, but most importantly is that you get back home to your family safely. So, having said that, this weekend with any lake, there's always fishing tournaments and things like that going on. Don't think there's many big ones this weekend, but this weekend is opening season of duck season down here. So, be mindful of that. Our launch times and everything like that are pretty good, safe lights. So, you should be pretty visible, but make yourself visible. Have your rigging and running lights on, especially if you're motorized. You will need your lights going as soon as you get taken off if it's not super safe light yet. So if you got any questions on that, don't leave it to your own judgment. Give me a call and I'll get you answered. So getting into what's at stake, 7 anglers will make it to the 2024 Bassmaster Kayak Series Championship on Lake Tenkiller. Um, it's going to be a good experience for all of you to get to travel and experience that national event that culminates a season of hard work for a lot of people. To register for this tournament, we're again always on Tourney X. In our opinion, it's the best management system that we have in the business. So we're grateful for the people at Tourney X and Dwayne Wally for all that they do to keep us all in check and where we can operate and have a good system to operate on. Get into what we're giving away here. So this weekend on Saturday, we don't have a check-in, but we will be meeting at the Big Jim's compound. Should be around cabins 8 and 9. We're going to have just a tailgate kind of deal, some pizza and drinks. So we'll see all of you there for that. You'll all be sent a time on your push notifications for that. So you're going to be able to get off the water, go get you a shower. It's not mandatory at all. You don't get penalized if you don't show up. This is just our way of being able to hang out and just close the season out with a lot of good fun. So again, that's going to be at Big Jim's. Just look around cabins 8 and 9. We'll be there. We're giving away on Sunday at awards. You've got to be present to win these prizes. If your name is drawn and you're not here, then it'll go on to the next person. And when we do that on Sunday, check-in is at 4:30 Eastern time. So pretty quickly after 4:30, around 4:40, 4:45, we'll start the awards going. So everybody should have time to make it there. We'll try to knock those out as quickly as possible, then get the raffles done so that you can head back home. We know it's a long way down here, and it's a long way back home as well. So what you'll be getting at some of those raffle items, there's going to be 5 individual $250 cash giveaways given to us by Old Town Fishing, Old Town Kayaks and Canoes. We're also the grand prize, which will be drawn first for the entire field that fishes this weekend, is an Old Town Sportsman's PDL 120. So that's a pedal drive kayak, a 12-foot. I fished out of one in Maine in super choppy water and high winds, and I'm 6'2" and a half, 280, and I was very secure in that kayak. It was stable, it's very nimble and maneuverable, seats comfortable, pretty good amount of practical storage that you can reach without having to turn around and everything. So That'll be given away. We've got a Newport NK180 given to us by them, and it'll be powered with a 24-volt um, Dakota lithium motor. That'll be given away to someone. And then after that, we've got rod and reel prizes from Dugout Bait and Tackle, one of our primary sponsors. We'll have prizes as we've had all through the season from, Tackle Works, rigging, Yamamoto baits, Bill Lewis, Buckeye lures, choked custom swim baits. Kayak Cushion will do a personalized state champion cushion that'll be sent to the winner of that. And then we've got some other prizes sprinkled in there from our sponsors. We've got the Sniper Marine LLC Big Bass, and then you're all going to go home with the nice blue trophies from Catch Outdoors. So we appreciate everything that they do on that. So getting into the rules of the event for you all, it's your responsibility to click on the link provided here and download the rules and familiarize yourself with them. If there's any gray area or questions that you have, reach out to me. Don't discuss that with one another because your buddy's interpretation may not be what the rule actually is. So, just like anything else, trust the tournament director to give you the wording that you need to make sure that everything goes good for you there. So, you'll get some basic rules here, but there's not going to be a lot discussed because those are easy to read and easy to find and access. Plus, you all fished with us all year long, so you pretty well know what the deal is. So, this is a 5 fish daily limit, a 12-inch minimum. If you have a 12-inch fish and it gets a penalty for cracked mouth, then that'll be scored under 12 inches, so that fish will be kicked out of the system. And you can submit another photograph if you've got a better one. But though, if a 12-inch fish gets penalized, then that fish does not get to stay in your stringer. So, and remember this: with a 5 fish daily limit, there's a lot of checks cashed with people who only caught 3 fish on day one, but had a really good day two. So stick around, don't leave. Big Bass is an option too for you to take home that prize money. But above all else, you're going to need to be here for awards to possibly win, a $4,000 kayak, probably a $2,500 Dakota Lithium Newport combo, $250 cash plus the other prizes that we have. Your identifier code will be released on Friday at around 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That'll also be sent to you through push notifications. That's a new option on TourneyX that we really enjoy utilizing. So if you click that notification and it disappears on you, go to your TourneyX app, and in the top left-hand corner, you'll see a bell with a number. Click on that, and then you're able to look at the messages that I send to you throughout the weekend. That's the easiest way to get a hold of you sometimes because a phone call may not go through if we're trying to talk to you about your fish or something like that. So your identifier code can be written on your hand. It can be written on your catch board. It can be written on a piece of paper, a tourney tag, anything. But I'm going to need to be able to see your numbers, your digits, to be able to make sure that that your code is acceptable. So above all else, when you take your pictures, put the fish back in the water, either on grips or in a net. Check your pictures for clarity. Make sure everything is the way you need it to be, and then your identifier code is in there. Something I do is I take 5 or 6 pictures of a fish, put it back in the water. I pick the best one and I put it in my favorites folder if I'm not going to upload it immediately. But that gives me the best picture of each fish that I have, and I'm not having to go back through them over and over and over. We only allow catch boards. If you don't have one, get a hold of me. I've got some extra with me you can borrow. I've got some catch carbonates that you can purchase. But all catch boards are allowed. Getting into the times. Today at about 6 p.m., you need to be back off the water and loaded up and getting headed back to wherever you're going to get ready for Saturday. And again, on Saturday, as I mentioned, you're going to need your navigation lights, the red and green, if you're a powered vessel, as well as your white 360 light. If you don't have those lights, then you are allowed to have your motor on your kayak, but you can't deploy it until it's safe. It's safe light. So call me if you have that situation happen to you, and that way I can make my notes. And then above all else, if you don't have a white 360 light, then you can't launch at all. You have to wait till legal safe light, which depending on the morning and the overcast, has been around 7:10 ish. Has been like super daylight. So be mindful of that, and get a hold of me if you got any questions. Um, Lines in, or so you're able to launch at 6:30. Like every bit of etiquette, load your kayak on your trailer in the grass somewhere out of the way from the ramp. The back down, launch it, beach it, park, come back, and you can get in your kayak and stay, half a cast, 15, 20 feet from the bank so that you're out of the boat traffic way. But you are allowed to get into your kayak. If throughout the day you need to move spots because you're not doing well there, you want to go to a backup spot, you can take out and move to another ramp. And for this lake, it's all legal, publicly accessible launches. There are some boundary restrictions, and those are listed at the bottom of the Tourney X itinerary thing. So you can launch at 6:30 a.m. Lines in is at 7 a.m. Lines out is at 3 p.m. and your last fish submission is 4 p.m. So if you don't have cell signal, that's your responsibility to get off the water and go find it before 4 p.m. If you're trying to upload fish and you can't get them to upload, that's part of electronic fishing. So we'll do everything we can to help you, but if don't wait until 2 p.m. to try to start getting your fish uploaded. Because you're going to run into problems, and we have had anglers who don't get their fish counted because there's instances where you have to cut your day short for an hour and get back and drive somewhere and get your fish uploaded. I haven't had that much trouble on this lake so far. I've driven around a lot of it and been on the phone and had really good signal, so I think you should be okay. Um, and again, on Saturday, there is no real check-in. We're just going to kind of casually meet probably about 6 o'clock over at the big gym compound and hang out for a little while. Um, and then on Sunday, your times are the same. You can launch at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Lines in are at 7, or is at 7. Lines out at 3 p.m. Fish submission is 4 p.m. and be here at Big Jim's at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That address is 7863 Reynolds Landing Road in Donaldsonville, Georgia. Launches and boundaries, again, you are permitted to fish all public water on Lake Seminole, and the lake boundaries will be all public ramps, pay ramps that are open to the public and public access areas. Some of those are pay ramps, and those are legal as well. Any public access launch, put in, or ramp will be considered legal within the boundaries from the 3 northern ramp boundaries down to the dam. The furthest north ramp anglers can launch from on the Chattahoochee River is the Jowers Road public ramp. The furthest north ramp on the Flint River will be the Boat Landing Road launch. The furthest north ramp on Spring Creek is under the Brinson Bridge, Highway 8438, also known as Dothan Road. And the Silver Lake Wildlife Management Area is off limits. Don't leave the main waterway of Spring Creek Waterway to access that land. You are allowed to get out of your kayak if you need to take lunch, you got to go to a bathroom break, you need to get out and stretch your legs. You can get out of your kayak and get back in. And then there are a few more rules to go over there. It's your responsibility to check your fishing license, and you very well should do that because I've fished out of the state for about 5 times this year, and 4 times I have been asked to see my fishing license. So they are doing their jobs and checking. So from there, man, all of you just be safe. We should be in the mid 60s in this tournament. We had 75 qualify, but some of those are from out of state, can't make it. I know this is very close to Thanksgiving, but it's what we got when it comes to the schedule, so that we can deconflict with things. But yeah, we're going to have a good time down here. We love coming to this place. We're going to release the schedule tonight, so I've got this video recorded. I'm going to try to find some good Wi-Fi to get it uploaded for y'all, but we do really appreciate everything y'all have done for us this year. This is year 2 of the trail series that we've had, and our numbers went up drastically, and we really appreciate all the publicity that you give to us. You all sharing it on social media is our best advertising. We've seen a lot of your friends comment that they want to get involved, and then they've reached out to myself or Daniel Davis, and that's how we do this together, because I'm only a tournament director and organizer. I have a job to do, and I do it for y'all because I care about you a lot, and I really get to enjoy this. But you all are the ones that, you know, based off of me doing a good job, you take that and spread that, and that makes more people want to fish. And so that's what it's about, and that's how it does grow, is truly because you all speak up and share that you've enjoyed it. So we had a good season. We had Tom Kazmierski win the Carl Black Chevrolet Kennesaw Angler of the Year. Um, so we've got, he's in the tournament. Last year's AOY from Carl Black Chevrolet, Joseph Gayton's here. We've got Joshua Deal, the defending state champion. He's here fishing this weekend. Josh Counts has won an event here. He's fishing this weekend. We got Jordan Marshall, the Tennessee Bass Nation state champion. Hobie, runner up year after year, does a great job on the national level. We've got, Clint Henderson's a former champion. He's fishing this weekend. We've got people who've cashed checks in the Bassmaster events. They're here this weekend. The grassroots champions and angler of the years are all here this weekend. So, we're really, really blessed to have the support of all of you in this trail series. So, but again, we couldn't do it without all of you, and we appreciate you reaching out to us with your concerns, especially when it comes to the rules. And there may be a little gray area in some of them, but that just means they need to be discussed because so far we've had no disqualifications and things like that. So, yeah, man, reach out. Y'all have a good time. Be safe. Above all else, just be courteous of each other. Watch out for the duck blasters, and give me a shout if you need anything. Appreciate all of you. And again, as always, look to our sponsors. You see my Seagar hat. Seagar is one of the premier companies in the country, and they support all things fishing and are a huge part of the kayak community. Dugout Bait and Tackle has led our way this season with a lot of good stuff. Carl Black Chevrolet again, Sniper Marine Big Bass Prize. And then, we've got support from Catch, Yamamoto, all the brands that you see, Tourney X, One Objective, Dakota Lithium, Newport, the list goes on and on. And, continue to tag them in your post and talk about your own products that you have of theirs because they really, really appreciate that. And it helps us continue to get that product support from them to give away every year to you all. So thank you and be safe.